I had a goal to raise $10,000 to do a short film, and I completely fell on my face. So, as you all know, I'm in film school, so I'm doing my final school project, and I had a goal to raise $10,000 within a month. And part of my goal was to get brands to invest, to get people through crowdfunding. And I soon realized this is almost impossible. Because the one thing about crowdfunding that they don't tell you, and that you probably don't know and you should know by yourself, is you need a crowd before the funding. So, because then once you have a crowd, then people are willing to invest in you because people already know you. What I've been trying to do was, I thought of crowdfunding in the final month. At first, I thought, I'm not gonna need any funds to do my project, or just do it at home and stuff like that. But the more you get into a project, the more you realize it can be more, it can be better. You can have a good location, you can have good lenses, you can have a lot of good things to create a very great project. So I remember my goal was like, all right, let's do this crowdfunding thing, let's see if it works. And like many people, I've always been skeptical of it, because I'm like, who's gonna invest in me? Like, I don't know people. But I did it anyway. I went for it. I set up an Indiegogo campaign. I copied, if you know Danny Gavitz, I copied his whole thing, and I was like, all right, I can do this. Took some parts from his and made it into mine and launched. And to my surprise, $0 came in the first week. Nothing came in, and then we got one beggar that gave us $10, and it was like, oh, wow, because and soon after, once you start realizing, okay, the money is not coming, then it becomes, what becomes of the project, the goals that you had for the project, the ideas that you have of the project, what happens? I'm not one to quit. For me, I've always said, with or without money, I'm still gonna do what I do. I believe in my projects, and I believe in the work that we're doing. So the $10,000 idea is out. Now it's more about how much can I raise, and how much within the time period that's left, and we'll do the best we can with what we have. I've always been saying, I'm tired of being the filmmaker who proves a point that you can do it without money, because I often feel like money allows us to pursue the opportunities we want to pursue. I spend more time trying to raise money than thinking about directing, which is good. I'm not complaining about it, but it's like, imagine what you could do if you could just focus on the thing that you do. If I could just focus on directing. Right now my mind is, okay, we got locations, how are we going to pay for these locations? We have this set of lenses that we want, but these are the lenses that we can afford. But do we have to move all the money of the lenses that we can afford to get the location that we want? How are we going to do that? So your mind then, like, casting wise, you're thinking, okay, what can we do? How are we going to feed the cast? How are we going to do this? So it's more, your mind then focuses on the logistics. And I know people say this is the producer's job, but then you're like, all right, the producer's going, I need money, bro. Like, give me money and we'll do it. So you're sort of producing and directing at the same time, and you want to give your talent time and attention, but you can't really do it because you don't have those resources. So for me, that has been the challenge. I'm not looking at the project as a failure as of yet, but I understand that my goal of trying to reach 10,000 before the end of the month is probably going to be impossible, because there's just no crowd to do the funding. So yeah, and a lot of brands, the economy in Canada right now is not the best. So it's like, when you're reaching out, they're like, no, we won't respond, because people like, yeah, we also need money, and but that's the thing. But one thing that has amazed me, is how much rejection I've gotten in the past 2 weeks. You look at it and you're like, oh, I feel like it's an opportunity to collaborate, but until you become somebody, people really don't value you as such. And it has made me understand that, like, okay, as long as you're at this level and people deem your value to be like, oh, you're asking me for a favor, I'm not gonna do it. But the one thing that I've learned in the past 2 weeks is you only need one person to believe in you. You only need one person to believe in your project, and that person is you. And then you take that belief and you get to work. I don't care how hard making the project has been. I have 2 weeks to work with the actors now, and we're going to do the best that we can, for the day, and making sure that we work with the resources that we have. It's hard, it's difficult, but at the end of the day, I also start to understand why, people like me don't get into it. It's just the cost is impossible, man. Like the amount of money that goes into this film stuff, it's ridiculous, because you've paid so much amount for tuition, and then you've had to pay so much amount just to survive month on month, and then how much money goes into the project, and you're like, damn, man, I still got bills, I still got these things to take care of. But I don't make this video as a way of complaining. I'm making this video so that somebody can learn and understand that as you go into it financially, make sure that you have different sources. And if you're going to crowdfund, make sure there is a crowd to do the funding. And if you're feeling generous, if you can, our Indiegogo is still up. Go check it out. Please help us make this short film. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in the next one.